Good day, class. Welcome to another lesson. The topic today is covalent bonds. My name is Jenny, and I love science. I make videos to help you understand concepts in biology, chemistry, and physics. To receive my latest video, please subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified as soon as they are posted. How do elements differ from the compounds they form? A compound is a substance made from one or two elements. An element is made of one type of atom. But compounds are chemical combination of different type of atoms. Most of the materials around us are made from combination of different elements. Compounds have different physical and chemical properties from the elements they are made from. What are chemical bonds? A chemical bond joins atoms together. A chemical bond is the force that holds atoms together in a compound. One way that atoms can form bonds is by sharing valence electrons. What happens when atoms share electrons? They form a chemically stable compound. What happens when a nonmetal bonds with another nonmetal? They form one or more covalent bonds by sharing one or more pairs of valence electrons. One way atoms become most chemically stable is by sharing valence electrons. When unstable, nonmetal atoms bond together by sharing valence electrons. A covalent bond is a chemical bond formed when two or more atoms share one or more pairs of valence electrons. The atoms form stable covalent compounds. The reaction between hydrogen and oxygen is illustrated here. Each hydrogen atom has one valence electron. The oxygen atom has 6 valence electrons. Most atoms are chemically stable with 8 valence electrons, the same configuration as a noble gas. An atom with less than 8 valence electrons becomes stable by forming chemical bonds until it has 8 valence electrons. Therefore, oxygen forms 2 bonds to become stable. Hydrogen is stable with only 2 valence electrons. Noble gases are stable and non-reactive. They have 8 valence electrons. The electrons in the outermost shell are paired and therefore they do not form bonds with any other atom. How does a covalent bond helps an element become stable? When unstable, atoms form covalent bonds and they share valence electrons so the atoms become stable. The more the valence electrons, the stronger the bond between them. Single covalent bonds exist when two atoms share one pair of valence electrons. Double covalent bonds exist when two atoms share 2 pairs of valence electrons. Triple covalent bonds exist when 2 atoms share 3 pairs of valence electrons. Triple bonds are stronger than double bonds. In a single covalent bond, one pair of electrons is shared between 2 atoms. Each hydrogen atom shares one valence electron with the other, and they form a single covalent bond. In a double covalent bond, 2 pairs of electrons are shared between 2 atoms. One oxygen atom and the carbon atom each share 2 valence electrons with the other. When one carbon atom bonds with 2 oxygen atoms, 2 double bonds are formed. In a triple bond, 3 pairs of electrons are shared between 2 atoms. Each nitrogen atom shares 3 valence electrons with the other. When 2 nitrogen atoms bond, they form a triple bond. Some molecules have unequal distribution of the charge, and one part of the molecule might be slightly more positive. Another part of the molecule might be slightly more negative. Why is one part of a polar molecule different from another? One part of a polar molecule is slightly more positive, and the other part is slightly more negative. This is often due to the size of the atoms bonded together in a molecule. In a covalent bond, atoms can attract the shared electrons more strongly than the other atom can. Why is water a polar compound? Think about the valence electron each oxygen and hydrogen atom share in the molecule. The oxygen atom attracts the shared electrons more strongly than the hydrogen atom does. As a result, the shared electrons are pulled closer together to the oxygen atom. Since electrons have a partial negative charge, oxygen has a partial negative charge, and hydrogen has a partial positive charge. A molecule that has a partial positive N and a partial negative N because of the unequal sharing of electrons is known as a polar molecule. Sugar, for example, dissolves easily in water because both sugar and water are polar molecules. The negative N of the polar molecule pulls on the positive N of the sugar molecule, and the positive N of the water molecule pulls on the negative N of the sugar molecule. This causes the sugar to break and mixes with the water molecule. Atoms of a polar molecule share the valence electrons unequally. Now let's talk about nonpolar molecules. Why is carbon dioxide molecule nonpolar? Atoms of a nonpolar molecule share the valence electrons equally. The carbon and oxygen atoms share the valence electrons equally. Neither atom pulls on the electrons more strongly than the other. A nonpolar compound will not be easily dissolved in a polar compound, but it will dissolve in another nonpolar compound. Oil is an example of a nonpolar compound, and it will not dissolve in water. Have you ever heard someone say, likes dissolve likes? This is because nonpolar molecules dissolve in nonpolar molecules, and polar molecules dissolve in polar molecules. I would love to hear from you. Please leave your questions in the comment section and I will answer them personally. In conclusion, elements become stable when they gain, lose, and share electrons. A covalent bond forms when atoms share their valence electrons. Water is a polar molecule because oxygen and hydrogen atoms unequally share electrons. Thanks for watching. You'll see me in the next video. Bye!